What is poppin', beautiful people and squad? Is your boy Jesimein. Today, man, I'm about to break all the myths. Do not listen to what everybody's talking about. Listen to this video because I'm about to change your life. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't know already. The best place to loot is the Occupy DZ. And the reason I'm saying this off rip at the beginning of the video is because people are so confused and misinformed to the point where they're fearing the Occupy DZ as if you're going to go in there and get ganked and lose all your stuff. And that's not the case, okay? And hear me out. This is why. So when Occupy DZ was first announced, right, everybody was extra hype, especially D1 players, because we're like, oh, it's going to be savage. We get to run up on players, just shoot with no questions asked, which 99.9% of the time in Occupy DZ, if you see somebody, you're not going to help them farm. I haven't gotten that situation ever. I don't think I've ever gotten a situation where I just saw occupied player and I was comfortable enough to just let him farm alongside me. It's just not how it is. And I mean that's the design, right? But even though it's like that, and even though if you see a player more times than not you're going to PvP, it is still the safest way to farm. And the reason I'm saying this is because a lot of the majority do not want to be in the Occupy DZ because of that. Now, hear what I'm getting at. Occupy DZ is dangerous because you can get shot, right? You can get ganked, you can get robbed, they can take everything you're contaminated and be gone, you can't do anything about it. But at the same time, because that's a fact and that's a possibility, people aren't in there farming. And because of that, it's not as populated as it probably should be, which means it's not dangerous at all. There's no radar, right? So you don't really know where players are at unless a landmark's engaged, and more times than not, by the time you get there, they're gone, right? You don't have to worry about seeing where rogues are or anything. You can't see that where an extraction is unless you have it highlighted. You have so many capabilities of stealth as a player who just wants to farm that you can just get in and get out. And not only that, one thing that we didn't know upon release or upon announcement of the Occupy DZ was the fact that a majority of the loot goes straight to your backpack. So if you get the kill and it's right here on the floor, you pick it up, no matter what happens, no matter if you get ran up on, no matter if somebody comes and starts beaming you, even if you aren't a PvP player, more times than not, you're going to have that loot that you were going for in your backpack safe and sound without even extracting. And then the extra stuff is going to be the stuff that's contaminated and you can get to extraction and get out. But most of the time, you can go through a whole Occupy run right now, today, right? And even though we're more towards everybody being endgame where most people should be in the DZ, it's still not a stressful thing as far as players to go into the DZ and farm. Occupy DZ's landmarks are insanely lucrative, dude. I don't know why people are saying, well, you should do control 3 points and all this, which, I mean, those are good because you get your mods and stuff, but for raw loot and an amount and just how free it is as far as farming, because now not only is the Occupied going to be full with NPCs that all drop loot, it's not as hard as a T3 run. And it doesn't scale the same way as like going in with a 4-man team. Going in with a 4-man team is going to feel the same as going in solo. Versus a control point, it's going to scale because it's an open world. There's a lot of benefits with just running in the DZ. Not only are you going to get a crazy amount of loot, you have the supply drops if you have time. There's all kinds of name bosses left and right. There's all kinds of things that you can do to grab loot that goes straight to your backpack, dude. Clearing landmark bonuses, getting XP. If you're level 50 and in the DZ, then you get that big advantage of getting the caches. And if you just plan everything accordingly, run with a decent team, you can be in and out of every landmark and into an extraction in like 20 minutes max, not including the 10 or 12 items that probably went into your backpack in that time getting to the extraction. So do not listen, okay? I have like 15 builds, bro. Fully as min-max as quote unquote you can be. Complete builds, okay? Complete, not incomplete, tester. I have complete builds just by farming the Occupy. I don't, if I'm looking for a certain role, if I'm looking for clutch gloves, unhinged LMG, ranger, or berserk chest with hard, if I'm looking for anything particular, I go in the DZ with 3 buddies and we farm and we all get so much loot. By the time you're done with one rotation of all the landmarks, more than likely one of you has gotten that gear piece or that piece or that talent that you were looking for, just because of the sheer amount. Not necessarily because you get better loot in the DZ or anything, because you don't. It's not like you get higher drops. I'm pretty sure that's probably going to be the case eventually because it's the most dangerous. But as of right now, it's like, as far as per like engagement drops, you're going to get the most loot running the occupied DZ, and I don't know why anybody else is even comparing anything else. I know bounties are really good, you get all that, but dude, one, you have to have target intel for bounties. Two, you still have to go and search and fast travel around the map and just do that and to get there. And three, like, you can only do so many in a day. You can run occupied DZ from 12 to 12, and you can be in the same one and not have to worry about anything compared to that. Yeah, maybe sometimes you get in a PvP situation where you kind of have to fight for your life, and if you have something extremely valuable and you're contaminated, I mean, more than likely you wouldn't know, right? Because it doesn't roll. But if you do get in a situation like that, that's a good thing. It's fun. It's a level of entertainment that you probably forget about while you're farming, because it's so easy to autopilot the occupied dark zone. When you get into that engagement, you're like, boom, and let's say they have loot, that's more loot for you. So if you have a true concern about getting your gear score up and leveling, and you're looking for a certain role, how do you get a vector, how do you get this, and how do you get that, dude, go in the occupied dark zone. I promise you, just run it for 2 hours. Okay, run Occupy Dark Zone for 2 hours, and then try any other method that you've heard from anywhere else, and you tell me how much loot difference that it's going to be, dude. I've been playing, I don't know how many hours now, way over 150 probably by now, way over that, I don't even know. And I'm telling you, I've played everything that you could probably play in this game. I've done control points from level 1 all the way to 4. I've ran all the bounties I could possibly run. I've went in and out of conflict and domination, going through those caches and going through regular, open world events and projects. And I'm telling you, it doesn't even compare how much more loot you get in the occupied dark zone, because of how fast the landmarks reset and how many bosses you end up really fighting for free that aren't as deadly as the other ones because of scaling. I'm telling you guys, you want the easiest, fastest way, 100%. There is no question. This is my true opinion, and I'm sticking to it based off of my experience and based off of everybody. Pretty much, it should be common knowledge at this point. But I mean, we have people who we have the naysayers who want to have their reasons. I'm telling you guys, if you guys trust my word and you trust the fact that I know what I'm talking about because I've played enough of the game to know, I'm saving you guys time and energy. You don't have to search any other method up. You can, feel free, support other content creators all the time, but I'm telling you, if you're really just looking for an answer, the occupied dark zone, as much as you may not like it if you're just straight PvE and you don't want to even see another player, if you don't want to fight a player, don't fight them. Run away, go on a checkpoint, wait it out, they'll eventually get bored, whatever, switch servers, whatever you got to do. But if you want the fastest loot method there is, without cheesing or without exploiting anything, just organic playing, it's going to be the occupied DZ. You're going to encounter more NPCs, way more chance at loot drops. You're always going to have landmarks to clear because they reset every freaking 3 seconds. And every time you complete a landmark, that's guaranteed loot as well, on top of the chance of getting loot from the NPCs dropping in the first place, not including free chest runs because you're in occupied. You don't have to worry about grabbing a chest and you flagging up rogue and people seeing it. The chest loot can go straight to your backpack. There's a chest at almost every landmark, so you're pretty much guaranteed in a rotation to at least have the chest, even if you don't complete the landmark. Bro, it just doesn't even compare to anything else how crazy the loot capability of running this efficiently is, especially when you're with a team. If you're looking for something particular, you have 4 times the chance, times like 50, because you guys are all going to have at least 30 pieces of gear in a freaking hour if you just keep running nonstop and kind of establish a route where you're going around the DZ and going between each landmark and into extraction when you guys need to clear, dude. I'm telling you guys, try it out. Let me know what you guys think, man. I'm being real with you guys. If you want to gear up for World Tier 5, go in the occupied dark zone. After this video, who knows, if it blows up and people start seeing you're going to see more players, and that's because of that. But just the reality is, if you want loot, take your butt into the occupied DZ. Put on your pants, get ready for it. Anything can happen. It's still the occupied dark zone. It's not going to be a nice place, but you will get rewarded for your time, okay? This is me being real. Please hear me out and listen to your boy. I got y'all back, and I'm trying to help y'all, especially before World Tier 5 comes out. If you're looking for something, that is the way to get it. So it's been real. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Go out there and get that loot, dog. It's out there ready for y'all to grab. Okay? It's been real. Your boy is